Good evening, folks, and welcome back to another Christmas Monday night live stream. Merry Christmas to you one and all. Happy holidays, whatever celebration you celebrate this festive season. I hope you all have had a lovely few days. It's been very relaxing. It's been very nice. It's nothing being too stressful. I'm sure the kids have been fine. You've got what you asked for, all that kind of stuff. If you're over in the States and you're having that bit, I think it's underplaying it to say a bit of a cold snap, but the weather's not too warm at the moment over there. I hope everybody is safe over there. It's a bit chilly here tonight as well. I've got the biggest cup of coffee in the world, just more so just to keep my hands warm. I've got the tumble dryer on next door, just pumping out a bit of hot air, trying to keep the place warm. I'm sure we'll be fine. But tonight, it is Boxing Day here, and the 26th of December, the day after Christmas Day. And I assume that tonight might be a bit quieter than normal streams. I think people will be visiting family. People will have other things to do with their kids and stuff. So I assume, like I say, it'll be a bit quieter than normal. That, for me, is the perfect time for a fighting fantasy live stream. I know some of you absolutely love them. I know some of you absolutely hate them. The numbers are never as good for these streams, but I love doing them, and I know some of you love doing them as well. So that's what we're doing this evening. I will reveal soon what the vote from the Patreons was, of which book we're going to do tonight. It's very aptly sort of themed, I think it is as well. So thank you very much to the Patreons for choosing that today. But let's have a little look in the chat and we'll see who we've got this evening. So Colin Mack says, ready to fight. Nice to see you, Colin. How you doing, mate? Super Pumpkin Man, good afternoon to you. Christian Reeves, good evening, I should say. Good evening to you, mate, as well. Clyde Dashing, evening to you as well. Yoakum says, hello, this is going to be fun. Hello to you as well, mate. We've got Ward LaFrance says, hashtag we are FF for Fighting Fantasy. Maybe a Fighting Fantasy aficionado there. VJ, good morning, Squirrels. He says hello. He's got a gig until 2 a.m, then in bed at 4 a.m. It's 8 a.m. now, so really should still be sleeping, but can't miss a stream. I tell you what, mate, that's commitment to the cause, mate. I'll get 2 thumbs up for that one, mate. Win Hayward, Merry Christmas to you as well. VJ says, at least it looks like his chat's coming up today. It definitely is, mate. I've got no idea what that was. There was a few people saying that they were having problems with their chat last week. YouTube was definitely having a bit of an off day, I think, last week. It certainly wasn't anything Christian or I were doing, that was sure. Tasty Brain Drain, good evening. Says he sadly just have to lurk today, so I've got too much to do before I leave New Orleans and go back to Lafayette. But I did want to at least say hello and hope everyone had a Merry Christmas. To you as well, my buddy. I hope you're well. Ryan Barry, hello to you as well and Merry Christmas. Al Cluley, he says, just the ticket after a bit of stress this evening. Well, I hope all that stress is gone, mate. I hope whatever it wasn't too serious, and I hope you can sit back, put your feet up now. Sorry, Dave Dogson, City of Thieves for the win. It's not City of Thieves tonight. There's one sort of to scratch off the list anyway. Andrew Fairbanks, good afternoon to you. He says he's doing new house painting, so it should be fun. Nice to have on in the background, mate, then, eh? Nigel Jones, good evening to you as well. Double Dip says happy Christmas to everyone. Catherine Evans, hello to you, Catherine. Says hello and happy Christmas from the Smith household. Happy Christmas to you as well. I'll say and smashy likey. The Rhymester says new sub here watching along. Thank you for your subscription and welcome to the live chat. And not just watching along, hopefully you'll be joining in as well. For those of you that haven't done one of these Fighting Fantasy lives before, I'm assuming most people know what Fighting Fantasy books are. Written by Steve Jackson and Ian Livingston. They are the kind of the founders of Games Workshop. These were like a kind of choose your own adventure fantasy books, and there is a software company called, I think it's called Tin Man Games, who have kind of turned them into a sort of a digital version, which allows me to kind of bring them to you so we can all, I'll read the story out, but you'll see all the words on the screen. We do all the dice rolls on the screen. You get to vote on which choice we go down, whether it's north, east, west, all that kind of stuff, whether we go left or right. Which items we pick up, you get to choose on all that stuff, and we kind of share it around. We do some kind of group votes and stuff to try and keep it interactive, but it's quite light in there and a bit of fun. So yes, hopefully you'll be joining in as well, Rhymester. Colin says he's doing well over the COVID hump now. Glad you're on the mend, my friend. Highland Fairon says, evening bud, hope you're all enjoying the festivities. We had a lovely day actually yesterday. It was very, very chilled, really relaxed. The little one didn't get up till 7 o'clock, 7, quarter past 7. So actually it was a little bit of a lie-in for me and my wife as well. And we got up, had a lovely morning. Some family came over in the afternoon and had lunch with us. And we just had a bit of a feet-up chill night. And today it's been much the same, really. Just a bit of a lazy day. I've been doing a few little bits of like personal jobs, if you like, around just like doing bits and pieces. Like I changed the FEP on my resin printer, that kind of stuff. Like, you know, just little bits of jobs that you never get round to doing. I had a bit of a chill day anyway. Major Tom, good evening. Ed, how are you? Gary Jensen says he's got fresh models baking under the UV and enjoying his day. Nice to see you in, mate. Colin says good evening to everyone. And Catherine saying teenager just fixed my name. Nice one, mate. Nice one. So tonight, the Fighting Fantasy book that we will be doing this evening, if I can remember the title of it, is so actually I'll flip over and I'll show you these. So this is what we've got. This is our nice little Fighting Fantasy library of books. So these are all the books that I've purchased. Thanks to things like people have donated on live streams and stuff to allow me to kind of purchase more books and stuff for when we've been doing these. And normally what happens is I kind of hang on until there's a bit of a sale on, and get them kind of a discount. And if you buy them in bulk, you get a discount as well. So I think there's 13 books available now, and we have all 13 of those books. So some of the ones we've done, I think we've done House of Hell. I'm saying done. We've not completed them or anything like that, but we have. We've certainly sort of tried them. We've done House of Hell. We've done the Forest of Doom. I think we've done Death Trap Dungeon. We've done City of Thieves. We've done Warlock of Firetop Mountain. We've done Island of the Lizard King. And I've got a feeling we might have done... I might be imagining we've done Trial of Champions, but I think we might have done that one as well. But tonight, folks, very wintry themed, obviously, as well, the Patreons have chosen Caverns of the Snow Witch. So this is what we'll be playing this evening. I've never read the book before, so it's all new to me. I've read quite a few of these. This isn't one that I've read, actually. So we will be we'll be reading this evening. So I'm looking forward to that. So let's have a little look in here as well and see what the chat's going on. Ed saying 2 days of overindulgence taking its toll. Yeah, I must admit, I haven't been kind of boozing very much, but I probably overate a little bit yesterday. And today's been a bit more taking it easy, I would say. VGC rewatched Avatar the other day with the little guy in prep for taking him to see the new one. I'll be honest, I mean, it's great for kids and stuff like that, but it doesn't... I think the original Avatar was kind of at a time when the technology was really new. The fact that you had fully, like, sort of digital characters, 3D, all that kind of stuff, I think was pretty kind of cutting edge at the time. Where now... that kind of stuff feels a little bit old hat now, and for me, the new Avatar 2, like Avatar 2, just feels like an animated film now, and I think it's kind of like the sparkle's gone for me personally. So it's not something I'll be seeing, but I completely get taking the kids to see it. I think it'll be fantastic for the little ones. Double Dip says, yeah, I remember having adventure books like this when I was young. I think there was a Hero Quest one. I remember there being a Hero Quest book. I'm not sure if it was a Fighting Fantasy, like a adventure book like that. I don't remember that bit, but maybe I'm remembering wrong. Dave says the good early ones, the Citadel of Chaos and Forest of Doom. Yeah, I think, like I say, I think we might have actually done. We've definitely done Forest of Doom. Forest of Doom might have even been. It may be the second one. I'm sure we'll have done Warlock of Firetop Mountain first, wouldn't we? Spoony, good evening, mate. He says, sorry I'm late. What is the program you're on? The software, mate, is just from Steam. So you can go, if you go to the Steam client, I think you can get it on apps as well through the App Store and stuff on your phone. And I think you get like there's one book you get free to kind of to show you how it works. But the other books are not very expensive. They're like about £1.50, £1.75 a book, something like that. So they're not a fortune. And Dave saying there's a Star Trek type Fighting Fantasy book which I really liked. My little lad last night was he got some Goosebumps books for Christmas, and one of the Goosebumps books, the one he decided he wanted to read last night, was kind of like a choose your own adventure type thing. So it was pretty cool. So he was reading that, and he was really enjoying being able to like choose which way the story went and stuff like that. I don't think he's really kind of like sort of read one of those books before. So yeah, he enjoyed that. Ed saying Avatar was a tech demo. Yeah, it kind of was, but a really good one, I guess, back then as well. Vijay saying, yeah, agreed. To be honest, I'm not that phased about the movie itself, but I think you'll really get a buzz about it. Or 100%, mate. I think like for little ones or anyone that's kind of obviously into that story and stuff like that, they will absolutely love it. And I think from a visual aspect, it looks fantastic. But I guess a lot of stuff looked fantastic now, where back then, nothing looked like Avatar, I think, back then. And I think like since the first film came out, I have been to Florida on holiday, and the Avatar rides at Animal Kingdom are unbelievable, absolutely fantastic. So if we get some good rides in Florida, it might not be a bad thing. Clyde says, used to nab Fighting Fantasy from the library all the time. I used to get mine from a library as well. I had a local library I used to get mine from. Matthew Wilkinson, good evening to you, mate. I hope you're doing well. So before we get on to the Fighting Fantasy stuff, I guess we'll kind of just a bit of a reach out. Like I say, I hope everybody had a fantastic Christmas. Does anybody get any kind of hobby-related gifts? Anybody get any new games? Did anybody play any games yesterday? My little lad seemed to get a lot of board games for Christmas this year. I wonder why. And he got some stuff. He asked for the Jumanji board game. He watched the Jumanji movie a little while ago, loved the film, loved the fact there was a board game in the film, and then saw you could buy the Jumanji board game. Now, there's 3 different versions of the Jumanji board game. There's the really basic one with just like a board and sort of dice and a couple of playing pieces type thing. There's the next version, which actually looks like the Jumanji board from the film, with the kind of, I mean, it's made of plastic, but it looks like the wooden box and stuff. And it actually kind of sort of has sounds and like a little screen and stuff in it. And then there's a really expensive one, which looks like the one from the movie, which I think is like a wooden box and stuff. He got the middle one of the 3 for Christmas, and we played it yesterday morning. And actually, it was a lot of fun. It's not the kind of thing you necessarily want to play with a group of adults, but with a group of kids, it was actually a lot of fun. It kind of like it had like little challenge things that you had to do, like. You had to simulate that you'd been through a waterfall, and you get like a little egg timer with the game, and you had to simulate going through a waterfall. So you had to go and put your head under a tap or put your head under a shower head for the duration of the egg timer type thing, which he was absolutely kind of crying well after about. Thought it was really funny. Never expected to see that kind of thing in a board game. So we had a lot of laughs kind of playing that yesterday, and he got a number of kind of different. Kind of, you know, like children's board games type thing. So I think we'll be playing quite a few games in the coming weeks, especially with them being off for 2 weeks as well now. Personally, myself, I didn't get any hobby stuff. I got one of the McFarlane Warhammer 40,000 figures. I got an Orc figure, which I thought was really cool. I got like some kind of geeky stuff like on the shelf there, with like a Captain America and a Batman and a Iron Man, like sort of mug type thing, like head mug things. Is that what I got geeky wise? Yeah, I think that's the bulk of the kind of like. Oh, I did get a Mandalorian Lego set thing to build like the Mandalorian's helmet, which was pretty cool. I did that last night. But let's have a look and see what you lot were up to. Dan Pillow, good evening to you. He's saying, hi everyone, glad I made another live stream. Nice to see you in, Dan. Welcome aboard and Merry Christmas. Matthew got a World of Warcraft sub. Gary Jensen says, Avatar 2 is not good. Visual spectacle, sure, but really not good. Yeah, I guess it depends on the audience, mate. Maybe it's not designed for us. Colin says, you got League of Infamy and the Frozen Horror expansion for Hero Quest. Nice one. Ed saying he got some Vatican stuff for Carnivale, so he guess that'll be a thing next year. Nice. Super Pumpkin Man got a 12th scale Bandai Boba Fett model. Very nice. Clyde says terrain. He got loads of terrain. This year is going to be a lot of terrain assembly and painting. I'm doing a lot of terrain printing at the moment. The plan is over the Christmas to have a little bit of a break. So I'm not going to be kind of like working every day on like video and painting and that kind of stuff. But I am running the 3D printer in the background, printing off plastic terrain stuff, with the idea that after the kind of Christmas break I'll have like a big chunk of stuff printed off that I can then make a video about. So I'm kind of working in the background, but yeah, so my terrain's building up fast as well. Kath saying we got Karen and Catan, very nice. VG saying he got Star Wars Villainous. What's that like, mate? I've saw there's like a Marvel version of it now as well, isn't it? There's a few different versions of Villainous. Got Marvel Dice Throne and Cash to get some of his own. Nice one, mate. Wayne got some Star Wars Legion stuff and some new Star Wars Pandemic game. I saw that as well, mate. I do like the Pandemic games, so I wouldn't mind trying that at some point, if I'm honest. RG, good evening to you. He's got some plane kits to make up. Had a few days bashing the shelf of shame and just basing some snow trolls for next Monday. A nice one, mate. James, good evening to you as well. So he's got a halfling engineer and a Riftforged troll type thing, and licorice all sorts, all eaten in order. I didn't get any sweets this year, which is, to be honest, for my waistline, is probably a very good idea. But yeah, I didn't get any chocolate or biscuits or sweets or anything like that, which is nice. Alcine playing Kill Team tomorrow. He says he's Orc Commandos versus the new Kroot Fast Riders, a practice game, and then starting a narrative campaign on Friday. A nice one, mate. I built the Kroot half of that into the dark set. I haven't built the I have built some of them, but I haven't built all of the Navy breaches yet. But the Kroot ones were the ones I liked more, to be fair. Andrew saying no hobby stuff as a gift, bought all that before Christmas. Yeah, I must admit I haven't bought a lot of hobby stuff in a while. To be honest, like I've got a bit of a backlog of stuff, so I've spent like a few days kind of like up to Christmas. I've been building all my Malifaux backlog, really getting. I had a load of models that I'd got and hadn't actually got round to building yet. So I built all of my Malifaux stuff. I'm looking over there because they're all over there, ready to be primed and stuff. But then I've been 3D printing like resin base toppers for them as well. So that's been slowing down the process a little bit. But yeah, I've got them all finished, so I'll be starting to paint those up soon. Steve, good evening to you. He says, I didn't mess up Christmas dinner. That was enough of a gift from me. Nice one, mate. Ryan says, what wonderful gifts all around. Yeah, there's certainly some lucky folks out there. Vijay says, we'll report on Star Wars Villainous as I get a game or two done. I've heard that Disney Villainous is really good. I've not heard anything about the Marvel Villainous one, and then I saw the Star Wars one, and Star Wars would probably be my choice, really. But I'm wondering if it's any different, or is it just like a reskinned version? Because if it's just a reskin, I'll probably just buy the Star Wars version rather than the Disney one. Although they're all Disney, if you know what I mean. But if it's a different game, then it depends on how it plays. Yorkham says he's got an airbrush spray booth. Very nice, mate. Looking forward to trying it out. I bought my spray booth when I got my airbrush, and I'll be honest, I couldn't imagine not using it now, if I'm honest. Ed says, Kroot, you closet meta chaser. I don't play the game yet. I haven't played the game yet, if I'm honest. So I've got no idea how good, bad, or indifferent they are. They're the only two kill team sort of crews I've got because they came in the box. But I just thought they'd be nicer to paint. But if they're good, so much the better, mate. So much the better. Right, I think we've probably got as many in as we're going to get tonight. It's one like I say, it's one of them quieter nights. So I think what we'll do is we'll head over and we'll start. I've just got to flick a few switches here. He says. Now I think what I'll have to do is, if I remember right, I have to bring the chat up on my phone because when I run it on the laptop, I won't be able to see the chat, will I? So let me get that up. So here we've got live chat. There we go. We're in the right place now. Rhymester just saying there, I've had these books since the 80s. Fantastic books. Been busy making maps for these books. I've done the first 20 books so far, and I'm planning on doing every map for every book. Nice one, mate. Are you the guy that's just followed me on Instagram? Somebody has who's making the maps, and it looks awesome. VGs, I think, has some new mechanics based on spaceships, like Pandemic has different mechanics. Yeah, personally, the Disney one doesn't interest me. I guess the difference for me is I'll probably be playing it with Lou, and if she's more interested in the Disney characters over the Star Wars ones, that's probably going to see the table more often. And Ed's saying there, Andy Smith, hello, mate. Ed's saying Kroot just got majorly buffed after being considered very bad since launch. A lot of people think they've been overbuffed. Ah, perfect then. Perfect timing to decide to paint them up. That is the way to do it. So, let me flick a few switches here. Get this up on the screen. And then you lot should, if I press the right buttons, when this starts, you should hear a little bit of... Can you hear some kind of background music? Tell me if it sounds too loud, if it's not loud enough, if you can't really hear it. Let me know, because I can very easily adjust it, and it's helpful to kind of do it now before we get too far. Ben Mitchell, good evening, mate. He said he's on final on holidays and get to watch. Oh, finally on holiday and get to watch the live stream for the first time. Nice one, welcome Ben. And VGC, yeah, good call. Can sacrifice the theme to get my missus to play. That's the way to do it, mate. And RG saying the background music sounds okay. That is what I like to hear. So, the Cavern of the Snow Witch. That's it, rhymes like that. Nice one. So, we won't read through every word here at the start. This is just a bit that explains how the game works, and I've kind of told you that. But what we do have to do is we have to roll for our initial stamina. So we roll 2 dice. I'll be honest, we might fiddle this. You can give it an extra nudge before the dice settle if it looks like we've got too low a number. If we've got too low a number, it makes for a very short stream. So if I have to fiddle it, I might well do. So let's see what we get. That'll do us. We got an 8. So we got 20 stamina. Right. Let's move on then. And we have to roll for our skill. And we roll 1 dice for skill, I believe. We got a 6. I didn't need to fudge that one. And next we need to roll for our luck. We're getting a 3. I thought I'd try and help it out, but I made it worse, and then I made it back to a 3 again. There we go. Right, now we need to choose a potion. We need to either have a potion of skill, a potion of stamina, or a potion of fortune. So, I think what we'll do is then we will see. Well, Rhymester, seems you're aficionado of the Fighting Fantasy books. You can be our first choice this evening. Would you like the skill, the strength, or the potion of fortune? Just type into the chat. Let me know what you want, and that's what we'll go with. Who else we got? Sunderland, good evening to you as well, mate, and Merry Christmas. Hope you're doing well. VG saying look of 0 on a D6 would it be appropriate? To be honest, mate, I did nudge it to a 1 there, I think, didn't we? Which wouldn't have been too good. We've got Super Pumpkin Man saying take the stamina. Let's see if Rhymester comes back to us quick. If not, mate, we'll go with the stamina. We will not hold it up too much longer. So Rhymester wants the stamina as well. There we go. So we'll go with the strength. Potion of strength. That's the one. Right. So we begin the adventure with a sword, and we're dressed in leather armor, and we've got a backpack to hold our provisions. And each meal that we have restores 4 stamina. So whenever we take a little bite of our rations, our provisions, and what we can do here is we've got our adventure sheet. I think you can see that. You can see the numbers on there. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll move that across ever so slightly. There we go. To there. So you can see. That's it. So you can see it. And let me just apply that there. So there we go. We've got a full screen now. So yeah, this is our character who we're playing tonight. This is BlackJack. We've got 20 stamina, 12 skill, and 9 luck. We've got our backpack here with our leather armor. We've got the strength. We've got 10 provisions. Each of those gives us 4 points of stamina, and we have our sword. So we can check that at any time. And then as we also progress, there is a map as well. But obviously there is no map. There is no map to speak of at the minute because we haven't got that far. So let's get forward. So now we are ready to go. May the luck of the gods go with you on the adventure ahead. RG saying I'd flip a coin, it would land on its edge. Yes. So here we go, folks. Winters in northern Alancia are always cruel and bitter. The snow falls thick and the icy wind blows hard, chilling everybody to the bone. Feels a bit like that at home at the moment. For the past few weeks, you have been hired by a merchant called Big Jim Sun to protect his trading caravans as they roll their way slowly north to the frozen outposts. The horse-drawn carts are laden with cloth, utensils, weapons, salted meats, spices and tea, which are traded for furs and ivory carvings, made from mammoth tusks. Big Jim is not usually worried about travelling north, as bandits only attack his caravans on the return journey. He's not alone in recognising the value of northern goods. On this particular trip, you are walking ahead of 6 carts across a frozen lake. In the distance, you can see the snow-capped peaks of the Icefinger Mountains jutting out of low cloud. Your destination lies at the base of the mountains where the Northmen meet to trade. Snow is falling, but not too heavily. You stop to prod the ice with your sword to make sure it can bear the weight of the carts, when suddenly the shrill call of a hunting horn breaks the silence. You stand up and run back to the carts to talk to Big Jim. He's sitting next to the driver of the second cart, puffing on a long briar pipe. A huge man with a great bushy beard, Big Jim is obviously a man to be reckoned with. His bright blue eyes scan the horizon, searching for signs of life. In a deep voice he says, "Sounds like it came from the outpost. Reckon you better go and investigate. Could be trouble, and get back quick." You set off straight away towards the outpost at the base of Icefinger Mountains. You arrive 2 hours later at a scene of ugly carnage. The snow is red with blood and all of the wooden huts are smashed and torn down. 6 people lie dead, their bodies slashed, their axes at their sides in the snow. Judging by the size of the footprints, the creature that attacked the outpost must have been enormous. There is nothing you can do for the unfortunate Northmen, so you head back towards Big Jim's caravan to report the news. You reach them in an hour, just as the daylight is fading, and relate the terrible events that have befallen the outpost. Big Jim orders the carts to be drawn into a circle to protect his men during the night. A large fire is built into the centre of the circle and you sit down beside it to talk to Big Jim. Everybody's nervous and a guard is posted to watch for signs of movement outside. In a low voice, Big Jim asks you if you will hunt the terrible creature, for otherwise his business will be ruined forever. You smile and reply that you will track the beast, but only for a purse of 50 gold pieces. Big Jim's jaw drops open, and it takes a great deal of persuasion before he agrees to your demand. The snow finally stops falling as you settle down for the night. Sleep is a long time coming, for your mind is active with thoughts of the impending hunt. When you wake just after dawn, the fire is reduced to dying embers. Wisps of smoke rise gently into the morning mist, and not a sound is to be heard. You walk over to where Big Jim is sleeping and tap him on the shoulder. He wakes with a start, and you tell him that you're setting off and hope to be back later in the day. You wave to the guard as the snow starts to fall again, and you make your way out to the outpost. Here we go then. Right. By the time you reach the outpost again, the bodies are blanketed with snow, and the beast's footprints are covered over. The visibility is poor as you set off towards the mountains where you hope to find the abominable killer beast. The snow on the mountainside is soft and you sink in it up to your knees as you climb slowly up. You soon find yourself at the edge of a crevasse, which is spanned by an ice bridge. So folks, this is the first choice of the night, and we'll do this one as a vote. So the way we normally do the votes is the first one to get 5 votes for it, like if 5 people type into it, that's the one we go with. So we can either do the ice bridge, or we can do so we say bridge or walk, basically. Which one are we going to do? Good morning, Camo. How are you doing? Ian H, how are you doing as well, mate? Nice to see you in the chat. So yes, bridge if we want to go over the bridge, walk if we want to walk around the crevasse. And I'll keep an eye on this in the chat here and see how we go. Bridge very, very quickly was the first choice there. So we are going to the bridge. The bridge is quite narrow and very slippery, so we have to test our luck, folks. You rolled a 10. You are lucky. You needed a score of 9 or below, and you rolled a luck score of 9. Phew. Excellent. That was lucky. We were lucky then. You tread safely over the bridge. You tread carefully over the bridge, safely across the crevasse. You continue your slow trek through the snow. Using your sword, you cut hand and toe holes into the side of the crevasse and haul yourself up. The wind starts to howl, blowing gusts of snow into your face. You put your head down and stride into it. Above the howl of the wind, you suddenly become aware of another sound, the howling of wolves. You draw your sword while trying to peer through the snow. As if out of nowhere, 2 snow wolves appear in front of you, hunched, ready to pounce. They are completely white except for their blood-red eyes. Suddenly, one leaps at you. You must fight. Here we go, folks. So we have to fight. Hi, Zingbo. How you doing? Nice to see you in as well, mate. Right, so we have to fight, folks. Now, I think there's a different sound comes up when we start fighting. Let me know if it's too loud, and we'll turn that one down. So here we go. Let me know if the sound is the sound okay. Does the luck reduce by 1 each time you check it? I don't think it does, mate. I think the luck stays at 9 until we lose it during the day. I think during the there's things happen that reduce our luck. I think so. Fight. That was a good start. Let me know, folks, as well. Is the sound still okay? It's not too loud or anything like that. Oh, that was a bad one. Oh, we got a draw though. Sounds fine. Cheers, Ed. Thank you very much. Sometimes the fights get a bit loud, mate, to be honest. That's a bit better. Oh, yep, that's okay as well. So there's the first snow wolf done, I think. Or almost, sorry. We've got one more to take off it. That's a good roll. Them's the way to do it, aren't they? That's the way. Right. So we've defeated the first snow wolf. And now we must face the second one. Yep, that's okay as well. 3 more hits and we've done it. Yeah, we've got that one. Looks like we're getting off to a decent start. Oh, that was a close one. I was just about to almost spoke too soon there. One last hit. There we go. Yes, we are victorious. Jason saying the stream keeps buffering for him. I would just maybe try and drop down the resolution or something like that, mate. It should be fine. It's the stream health at this end looks okay, so I think it's at your end, buddy. You are triumphant. Excellent. There we go. So we did win. So we'll pop it on. You step past the still bodies of the wolves and continue your journey through the swirling snow. The climb becomes steeper and the going is slow. The snow is beginning to fall very heavily, swirling around in the strong wind. A blizzard is starting. If you wish to use your sword to dig a shelter in the snow, we can do, or if we'd rather press on. VJ, you can have the first vote of the night tonight, mate. Do we want to dig a shelter, or do we want to press on and keep going? What would you like to do? Just while I get a quick drink of coffee there, mate. So yeah, VJ, you can have the first vote. I have to remember as well, there's about a 10 or 15 second delay between when I speak and when you hear it. So I have to wait for those to come through. Let's have a look. Wargaming Dad, nice to see you in the chat as well tonight. Spider Lord, good to see you as well. He does like a good snow cave, so we'll dig a shelter. You hurriedly cut blocks of ice out of the mountainside and build a makeshift igloo. You crawl into it as the blizzard blows down the mountain with ferocious power. Your body heat is retained inside the igloo and you keep warm. Something tells me that might have been the right choice. However, you must eat 2 portions of your provisions to regain your strength after the tiring walk and the effort of building the igloo. This does not increase your stamina. An hour later, the blizzard dies down and you crawl out of your shelter to continue your quest. Underneath an overhanging rock, you see a small wooden hut built against the side of the mountain. Its roof is piled high with snow and long icicles hang down from the window ledges. You see a set of deep footprints leading from the hut up the side of the mountain. So we can either enter the hut or we can follow the footprints. So we'll do a vote on this one again, folks. So either hut if you want to enter the hut, or follow if you want to follow the footprints. So hut or follow are the 2 words. So RG's voting for hut already there, getting in nice and quick. Wayne wants to follow, so we've got 1 for each. We've got a few more. Yeah, the hut then suddenly took over there. Everybody else voting for the hut. So we're about to enter the hut. The front door of the hut is frozen shut and you have to batter it with your shoulder to open it. There's only one room inside the hut containing the belongings of a fur trapper. Traps, furs and a sack are stacked in a corner of the room. You can tell that the room has recently been occupied from the wooden bed, table, chair, cooking utensils, and the ashes in the fireplace, which are all still warm. If you wish to put some logs on the fire and warm up the cold stew in one of the pans, we can do. Or if you'd rather leave the hut and continue your quest. So Christian, I think we'll go with you, buddy. You can do our next choice. Would you like to put some logs on the fire, or would you like to leave the hut? What would you like to do, mate? I'm saying put some logs on the fire. It sounds like we're going to warm up some stew, so I'm assuming we're going to start eating that as well. So let's see what Christian wants to do, man. Yeah. It feels like we've knocked the door down. It would be good to have a look. Yeah, let's warm it up. That's what I was thinking, mate. Let's warm it up. The fire is soon roaring and crackling in the hearth. The heat of the flames radiates through your body and you revel in the warmth. The stew is delicious and you feel your strength returning. You gain 3 stamina points. Good choice, mate. With renewed energy, you decide to leave the hut to continue your quest. As you're about to leave the hut, you catch sight of some weapons lying under the bed. So we can either take a couple of them with us, or if we don't wish to be encumbered by the additional weight, we can leave without the weapons. Al Cluey, thank you very much for the super chat there, mate. It was very, very much appreciated. Al, seems you've just joined in there, mate. Why not make the choice for us? So Al, would you like to take a couple of the weapons that were lying under the bed, or would you like to leave them behind? Let's see what Al wants to do. Wargaming Dad suggesting we should take them. Let's see what Al thinks. Welcome anybody that's just joined the chat. If you are new to the live streams, if you're new to the BlackJack Legacy channel, and if you're new to the Fighting Fantasies, please do say hello. Introduce yourself in the chat. Al wants to take them. Here we go. We'll take them with us. You take the warhammer and the spear before leaving the hut. It does sound heavy. Let's see how that goes. Outside again in the deep snow, you set off on your trek up the mountainside, following the footprints in the snow. So just to kind of show you on the adventure sheet here, so it's showing that we've got some information here, some knowledge. It shows the equipment, the warhammer and the spear that we've just picked up. I think you're right about the luck. It has gone down to 8 now. So yes, it has decreased. And how do we get that back up again? There we go. And we'll have a look on the map. And this is the map showing us how we go. So we started off with Big Jim's caravans. We went to the ice bridge. We fought the snow wolves. We built an igloo. We've been in the hut, and we found a weapons stash there as well. So just to kind of show you the stuff that we can do. Andy Smith saying he's new. You're new every week, mate. I know that. The high altitude and thin atmosphere make you pant for breath as you continue your steady climb. You lose 1 stamina point. If you're still alive, carry on. We are still alive, thank you very much. Suddenly you hear the cry of a human voice, followed by a ferocious roar. Not far ahead you see a fur trapper fighting for his life against a gigantic bear-like beast with long white fur, sharp teeth protruding from its jaws. It is the killer beast you've been hunting, the abominable Yeti. You watch the unfortunate trapper being gashed by the Yeti's claws and falling face down in the snow. Incensed by the vicious attack, you scream at the Yeti and run through the snow to attack it. What a silly boy. Are you carrying a spear? We are carrying a spear, thanks to Al Cluey. Thank you very much, buddy. So we can take that one. Carefully, you heft the spear in your grasp, aiming it at the Yeti. If you have frostbite in your sword arm, which we don't, I wonder if we would have got that if we just kept walking. So we can turn on, we can carry on. Gripping the shaft tightly, you pull back your arm and hurl the spear at the snarling Yeti. We have to roll 1 die. We want a 2 or more, so let's see what we get. Oh, yes, I fudged it. I want to keep going with the story. Continue. The spear flies through the air and thuds into the Yeti's shaggy chest. It roars in pain but does not fall. You quickly draw your sword to fight the enraged beast. Here we go, we're going to fight the beast. Right, something tells me this might be a little bit tougher than the wolves. So It's got a stamina of 4, so a couple of more hits. It's got a skill of 8. Oh, that's not a good one. Oh, we took some damage there. Not good. That's better. One more hit when we get through it. Oh, we just did it. There we go. We are triumphant. So we won that fight. You kneel down beside the fur trapper and turn him over slowly. His eyes are barely open and blood trickles down from the corner of his mouth. The Yeti has gouged deep wounds in his chest, and you realise that there is no hope of saving him. With a great effort, he reaches up and grabs you round the neck, pulling you down so that you can hear his dying words. He thanks you for trying to save him and insists on telling you his secret. In terrible pain, he struggles to whisper his story. He tells you that he has lived in the mountains for most of his life, hunting animals and trading their furs. But for the last 5 years, he's been searching for the legendary crystal caves. These caves have been cut out of the glacier by the followers of the Snow Witch, a beautiful yet evil sorceress who is trying to use her dark powers to bring on an ice age so she can rule supreme over the whole world. The entrance to the crystal caves is high up on this very mountain. It is open but hidden by an illusion. The unfortunate fur trapper found it by accident only yesterday when he saw one of the Snow Witch's warriors seemingly walk straight through an ice wall and disappear. The trapper left a piece of fur hanging over the entrance so that he could find it again the next day. Sadly, the Yeti has put an end to his hopes. He asks you to enter the caves to slay the vile Snow Witch and leave her followers without their leader. There are legends about great treasures being frozen into the wall of the Snow Witch's lair, which would provide ample reward. The fur trapper suddenly grips you hard and then falls back silently into the snow. He's dead. You cover him with snow before deciding what to do. 50 gold pieces await you if you return with evidence of the Yeti's death to Big Jim's son, but the thought of a quest through the crystal caverns beneath Icefinger Mountains excites you, and you decide to set off to find them. VJ singing "We Are the Champions." For now, mate, for now. Now that the snow has stopped falling, the sky is clear and blue. The air is cold and crisp, and the snow crunches beneath your feet. Slowly you make your way up the mountainside looking for the cave entrance marker left by the fur trapper. Suddenly you hear a distant rumbling from above, the terrifying sound of an avalanche. Test your luck. Here we go, fingers crossed, folks. I think we need an 8 or less this time. Yes! We needed a score of 8 or below and we got a 4. Excellent. No, RPD says nothing can stop us. We are the champions. We were lucky. You look up to see a great cascades of snow tumbling down the mountain. Fortunately, the avalanche sweeps down a ridge adjacent to the one that you are climbing. Phew. You make your way slowly up the mountain even, not the mounting, up the mountain until you reach a rock face that is too steep to climb. You walk around the side until you see a massive wall of ice which completely blocks a gully between 2 peaks of the mountain, the glacier. Your heart leaps as you catch sight of a piece of fur left hanging on the wall by the ice trapper. Although you cannot see the entrance, you walk straight ahead. You shut your eyes as you think you are about to walk into the wall of ice, but you walk straight through the illusion and find yourself in a long tunnel carved into the ice. You walk down it and soon arrive at a T-junction. So we can either turn left or we can turn right. Brian, hello mate. He says it's been a lot of fun. Been a very long time since I've seen a Fighting Fantasy book stream. Well, here we go, mate. So we'll put this one to a group vote. We can either go left, which I think I'm voting left, or we can go right. Let's see which way you want to go. Left or right? Let's see in the chat. So we've got 1 for left from Al. Let's see how many more lefts or rights we've got. We've got 3 lefts. Oh yes, left just took it there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, left was first. The tunnel bends round to the right. So we went left, but it bends round to the right. As you turn the corner, you almost bump into a tall, pale-skinned humanoid coming the other way. He's wearing a white cloak with a hood pulled over his head. He's a mountain elf, one of the Snow Witch's followers. Will you walk past him? Will you tell him you have come to join the Snow Witch's followers, or will you attack him with your sword? Let's have a look and see who we've got in the chat here. Major Tom, Ed. Well, let's see what you want to do, mate. You have a choice of 3. We can either walk, we can either talk, or attack. What would you like to do, mate? Let's see what you want to do. Cat's in your bedtime story sent Andy Smith to sleep. Sweet dreams, Andy. Sweet dreams. Ed wants to talk. Let's have a little chat then. The mountain elf looks at you in disbelief and says, "Nobody of good heart would wish to join the Snow Witch. I'm only here because of this." Throwing back the hood, the elf reveals a metal collar around his neck, which glows in the semi-darkness. "Only the obedience collar makes me serve her," he continues in a dour voice. If you wish to reiterate your desire to join the Snow Witch, we can do. Or if we'd rather change our story and tell the elf you intend to slay her. Let's have a little look here. Spider Lord, what would you like to do? Do we want to keep telling the elf that we want to join the Snow Witch, or do we want to tell the elf the truth that we intend to slay her? Let's see what Spider Lord wants to say. Hello Austin as well, joining the chat tonight. We've got Thumbnails as well. Nice name, I like that as well. Nice to see you. Zingboa, can't remember if I said hello to you as well, buddy. Nice to see you all in the chat this evening. Spider Lord says, "Oh balls, let's tell the truth." So we're going to tell him that we want to slay her. The mountain elf looks at you and smiles. "Now you're talking," he says. "Kill her and free us. Here, take my cloak to disguise yourself and follow this tunnel until it branches. Take the right hand fork. Good luck." You shake the elf's hand and we run off down the tunnel. So it sounds like we've got a bit of information now. So when we so we're going to follow it down until it branches, and then we want to go right. You soon arrive at the fork in the tunnel that the mountain elf mentioned, and deciding to take his advice, you enter the tunnel to your right. Let's have a little quick look at the map as well. So this is telling us where we've gone through the ice wall. We've just been chatting to the mountain elf there. So right. Further ahead, in the left-hand wall of the tunnel, you see a gap. You walk up to it and peer around to see a cave in which a Neanderthal is stripping the skin off a moose, making it ready for the large simmering stew pot behind him. He is working very slowly and is being yelled at by the gnome cook, who is wearing a white apron and waving a wooden spoon in the air. If you wish to enter the crude kitchen, we can do, or if we'd rather creep past, we can keep going. So let's put this one to a group chat, so we can either enter the kitchen, or we can creep past. So enter or creep. So the first one I get 5 votes for is what we will do. 1 for creep, 2 for creep. There we go so far. They're coming in thick and fast. 2 for enter, 3 for creep, 3 for enter, 4 for creep, 5 for creep. We're going to creep past. You wait until the gnome and the Neanderthal look away before running past the cave opening and on down the tunnel. In the distance you hear chanting voices. Before long the tunnel ends and the entrance to a large cavern. Kneeling down before an ice effigy in the shape of a demon, their hooded faces pressed to the ice floor in worship, are 10 of the Snow Witch's followers. There are 2 exits from the cave, one to your left and one to your right. If you're wearing a cloak, turn that way. We are wearing a cloak, so we can do that. You pull down the hood of your cloak as far as possible and walk towards the tunnel exit on your right. Right, we need to test our luck, folks, so we are looking for 7 or under. Yes. we rolled 5. Honestly, I think that's called just nudging the table. None of the worshippers suspects that you are an intruder, and you are able to walk through their temple without trouble into the other tunnel. The tunnel ends quite soon at the T-junction. To your left, you can hear cries for help. So we can either go left to head towards the cries for help, or we can turn right. Let's have a little look here. Yoakum, it's your turn, sir. You're very much versed with the winter weathers and the snow, mate. Would you like to turn left and go and help these poor cries for help? or do you want to turn right and keep out of the way? So Yuckum, what would you like to do, my friend? Might as well get a little drink of my cold coffee. I always forget how much I enjoy doing these. I mean, like I say, the numbers are low tonight, but we've got the dedicated few. That's what we've got. We've got the dedicated. Joachim's got his little angel halo on there. He wants to go left and help those folks. So let's do that. The tunnel ends at the edge of a pit, out of which a dwarf is trying to climb, but he keeps on slipping back. The floor of the pit is covered with large ice boulders which have crashed down from a shaft above the pit. One lands on the dwarf's shoulders, and you hear wild cheers from the top of the shaft as he tumbles to the floor. The dwarf sees you and shouts, "Curse you, stranger! If you do not aid me, I see that you are not wearing a collar." If you wish to help the dwarf out of the pit, we can do, or if we just want to ignore his pleas and walk back to the junction, we can be doing that. So we'll put this one to a vote, I think. So we can either help or we can walk. Help if you want to help the dwarf, walk if we want to walk back to the junction. So we'll see what the group think of this one. Are we going to be the good Samaritan, or are we just going to leg it and get away? We've got 3 for help, 4 for help, 5 for everybody wants to help. I can't believe you're all that nice. Everybody wants to help on this one. So yeah, help the stunty, says Spiderlord. Here we go. You lie down and lean over the edge of the pit and tell the dwarf to grab your arm. Much to the annoyance of the spectators above, the dwarf escapes from the pit. You run together back to the junction where the dwarf turns right. You tell the dwarf that you intend to carry straight on to find the Snow Witch, as turning right will lead you back to the Hall of Worship. The dwarf tells you that he must escape quickly and return to his village now that he is free. He thanks you for helping him and hands you a leather bag and then runs off. But before he disappears, he turns and shouts, "Beware the right..." I'll say that again. "Beware the white rat." You open the leather bag and find a sling and 3 iron balls. You pack them away and set off along the tunnel. Good choice, folks. Nice that everybody wanted to help. Everybody was right. The tunnel through the glacier soon leads to the mountainside itself, and the walls change from ice to bare rock. You enter a large cavern which has 3 other exits leading from it. One to your left, one to your right, and the main one carved as a giant skull lying directly opposite. As you enter, an ugly robed man steps out of the mouth of the skull holding a glass prism in his outstretched hands. He commands you turn back, as only the Snow Witch's personal servants are allowed inside the mountain. If you have a magical flute, you may wish to tell him that you've been asked to come and play for the Snow Witch. We haven't, so we're going to have to attack him. The ugly man sneers as you draw your sword. He rubs the prism, and suddenly 3 identical images of himself appear. They walk towards you. Each one has a dagger raised in his right hand. 2 of the images must be illusions, but which will you strike with your sword? This is going to get interesting. Will you strike the man to your left, the man in the middle, or the man to your right? Right, I think this is only fair that we put this to a vote. And it would be unfair for anybody. So we're going to say 1, 2, or 3. 1 is left, 2 is middle, 3 is right. So we'll say 1, 2, or 3. I know folks are kind of voting in here. We have a few for left there. So 1, 3, 2, 3, 2, 2. I'm gonna have to go back and count these now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3. I think left is what we went for first. We had, yes, we're gonna go left. We're gonna go left. So fingers crossed, folks. The illusion laughs out loud as your sword melee cuts through one of his images and his dagger plunges into your shoulder. You lose 2 stamina points. Oh dear. The illusion withdraws his dagger and in 3 images prepare to strike you again. You decide to swipe your blade across all of the images in an attempt to strike the real illusionist. So we need to test our luck, and I think our luck at the moment, folks, is 6. We need a 6 or less. We got it. We got a 5. But our luck is running out. I would say that. The illusionist screams in pain as your sword cuts into his side. He drops to the floor as his other two images fade away. As you step over him, he starts to laugh and stands up, his wound completely healed. If you wish to thrust your sword at him again, turn to 261, and if you wish to try and smash his prism, let's put this one to another vote, I think. So we've either got sword or smash. Sword or smash, which one do you want to do? We can either thrust the sword at him or we can smash the prism. So we've got 1 for smash, 2 for smash, 3 for smash. Everybody wants to smash there. Let's go with the smash then. You pretend to give up the fight and then suddenly leap at the illusionist. Catching him momentarily off guard, you manage to snatch the prism out of his hands and throw it to the floor. It shatters into tiny pieces and the illusionist turns and flees into the skull mouth, screaming at the top of his voice. Smoke rises from the shattered fragments of the prism and forms itself into the shape of bald fat man, a genie. Hovering in midair, he bows and thanks you for releasing him. He tells you that if you can call on him, he will make you invisible. Just once as a token of his gratitude. Without saying another word, the image shimmers and disappears. You now have to decide which way to head. So we can either go left, we can go into the skull, or we can go right. Let's have a look and see who we've got chatting here. Ben Mitchell, you were saying it's your first time in the chat tonight, mate, in the live stream. Ben, would you like to go left, right, or do you want to go into the skull's mouth? Ben wants to go into the skull. Nice one, mate. Let's go that way. The tunnel soon leads into another cavern where you see a huge, white-bearded man wearing white furs lifting a wooden chest onto a high shelf. He is a frost giant. There's only one other exit out of this lair via a tunnel in the opposite wall. So we can either run through his lair to the tunnel or we can attack him. So let's put this one to a vote. Do we want to run or do we want to fight? Run or fight, folks. Let's see what we want to do this time. So far, so good, folks. I'm impressed how it's going. Thumbnail starts off with the run there. We've got 3 for run, 4 for run, 5 for run. Louis Drake saying run as well. Everybody's saying run. We want to leg it. So we've got to run through his lair. You wait until the frost giant has his back to you and then run through his lair. You reach the next tunnel before the slow-moving giant realizes what is happening, but you do not stop running. You soon arrive at the crossroads in the tunnel. However, you have no time to examine the left and right branches as a strange humanoid is advancing towards you from straight ahead. Wargaming Dad saying, let's eat some food if we have some. Let's have a little look. Yeah, we can. Good idea, mate. So we can we're gonna use some of our provisions. So we use one of those and the tops is up at 19. There's no point using another one because it'll only give us 1 point of health. But good shout, Wargaming Dad. Good point to top that up there. Before you stands a crystal warrior, one of the Snow Witch's personal guardians who has been sent to deal with you. He's made of quartz, which has been animated by the Snow Witch's sorcery. Edged weapons will not harm the crystal warrior. Your sword is useless. If you possess a warhammer, which we do, you may succeed in smashing the crystal warrior to pieces. Yes, 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 we have a warhammer. Now, anybody that has seen me playing Dungeons and Dragons will know that my character carries a warhammer and is absolutely garbage with it. So we don't need that tonight. So we're going to fight with the warhammer. The crystal warrior bears down upon you with surprising speed. You have no choice but to protect yourself. You must fight. Good shout as well, Wargaming Dad, to top up the stamina as well. So here we go. Oh, he's got 13 stamina. This could take some time. Here we go. Good start. Good start. Two taken off him to start with. Oh, that one didn't look. No, we're going to take a bit of a hit on that one. This could be a tough fight, this one, folks. That's okay. We're doing all right there. Here we go. Hammer time, says Zingbo. Let's see how it goes. Oh, squeaky bum time. Oh, a couple of draws there. That's not what we want to see. Oh, dear me. Oh, we've taken a hit on that one as well. Good job. We took that's stamina. Oh, we took another hit there as well. There we go. That one was okay. We had a cocked dice on that one, so it re-rolled. That one. Oh, we took another hit there as well. We need to take this thing down here. Right. 3 more hits. We can afford to take 6 more hits. So we need to take 3 more on it. No, this is not done. Use some luck, says Dave. What does the luck do on a fight? Will we end up just wasting the luck? Somebody tell me how luck works in a fight. Does it help us at all? I'm just looking at the chat now to see if anybody's saying we should use some luck. I forget now how the luck works when it comes to the fights. Click and see. Let's have a look. I'm worried that... well, let's do it. Oh no, 8. Unlucky, the wound is worse than you thought. We took 1 more damage. Oh, it either adds 2 damage or something, or 2 dice roll. Right. Let's, that one's okay. 2 more hits. Yes. That's better. 1 more hit, come on. Yes. We did it. We did it, but we took some hits there. We're going to have to eat some provisions, I think, after this fight now. I was starting to get a bit scared there. I'll be perfectly honest. Let me just take that off there as well. Right. I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's get straight on here and let's top up here. So provisions. Yes, use it. Gives us 4, doesn't it? We'll use another 1. And we'll use another 1. Right, we're back up to 20 again, folks. But we are down to 4 on our luck, unfortunately. So we're getting a bit low on that. Right. Eat some sandwiches, says Austin. They must have been bloody good sandwiches, that's for sure. You step over the pieces of broken quartz that were once the Crystal Warrior and carry on along the tunnel until it ends at a T-junction. We can go left or we can go right. Austin, what would you like to do, mate? We can go left or we can go right, buddy. Dave's saying a bit of KFC and a large Coke and you'll be right as rain. It's the gravy that does it, mate. Honestly, it's the gravy. It makes all the difference. Winner, winner, chicken dinner, says VJ. And RPD shouting, heal! Austin says, go left. Right, we're going to go left, folks. The tunnel ends at a wooden door which opens when you turn the handle. You walk into a massive high-ceiling chamber which ends in a wall of ice. In the centre of the chamber is an open marble sarcophagus with its lid propped up against the side. A white rat, beware the white rat, remember, jumps out of the sarcophagus and runs towards you. It stops in front of you and starts to grow and change shape. This might be might be where we have to get the iron balls out as well. VJ saying, should we check the map? I'm not sure the map really helps us that much, mate. That's the problem. It doesn't seem to like loop back on itself. It's more just going in a zigzag sort of upwards line, if you like. Unfortunately, it's not like we certainly haven't. We keep going forward. We haven't kind of gone back on ourselves at all anyway. So that's good. Right. So let's see what happens with this white rat. If you possess any ground minotaur horn, we don't. So we have to turn on. The creature soon towers above you, or sugar, and develops a rough white reptilian skin. Its neck extends to support a giant head with smoking nostrils, and wings protrude from its back. Before you stands an ancient white dragon. From its gaping maw issues a steam of freezing cold breath aimed straight at you. Oh shit. Roll 2 dice. If the total is the same or less than your skill. Oh my god. Right, I might have to try and fiddle this one a little bit then. What is our skill? Our skill is 4. Oh my god. Yeah! We passed the skill test. We passed the skill test. I didn't even have to fiddle it. Oh. You leap out of the way of the icy stream. You feel the chill of it as it passes you by. If you're wearing a copper ring, I tell you what, I think I've got a bit of an itchy ring, that's for sure. If you're wearing a gold ring, we're not. If not, you must fight the mighty beast as you stand. Oh, this is going to be tough. This might be where it ends, folks. I'll tell you what, I'll put a bookmark in here. And that means if we die, technically we can go back and fight it again. Here we go. We're going to have to fight. It's got 12 skill. It's got the same skill as us. So we need to beat it on every dice roll. And it's got 12 stamina. Let's see how we get on. Oh, we lost that one. We won that one. It's a draw. We won that one. Oh, are we going to take down a dragon here? Not like that. Not like that. I'm trying, folks. Oof. Oh. Oh, right. 3 more hits and we can do it. 3 more hits. Cassie and you shouting, yeah, woke him up again. Christian says, when can we use the invisibility genie? Do you know what, mate? I did think that when we were having to go past the other dude. I'm assuming it's just part of the story because it's not giving us any. There's nothing in the book about it, in that adventure sheet about it. That would have been a good time, wouldn't it? Ooh. I'm trying to nudge this table to help us out. Yes! Come on, 2 more hits. We can do it. Oh, PDs, I'm scared. Me as well. I'm feeling the pressure here. 1 more hit, we can do it. Yes! Come in! Dan Pillow says, this is definitely squeaky bum time. You are not wrong, my friend. We did it. We've just taken down the white dragon. Oh, right. Let's have a little look here. Is there anything? You release the genie. He will turn you invisible once. But it doesn't give us the option yet. I'm assuming it'll help us at some point. Right. Do we want to take some provisions, folks? Are we going to top that up to... I think we should, shouldn't we? We should eat 1. Get us back up to 18. Right. Intrigued by the open sarcophagus. In the open sarcophagus, I'm quite intrigued by the dead white dragon beside me, to be fair. You decide to walk over and examine it. As you approach the sarcophagus, a woman's eerie laughter echoes round the chamber. A beautiful woman wearing white fur slowly rises out of the sarcophagus, and when she smiles, you see the telltale fangs and realize with horror that the Snow Witch is a vampire. Have we actually got to the Snow Witch? If you have some garlic, we don't have any garlic. Turn to 60. The Snow Witch climbs out of the sarcophagus and walks towards you with her mouth wide open. Her gaze is powerful, and you hear a voice in your mind telling you to drop your sword and loosen your collar. Roll 2 dice. Right, so skill. What's our skill score again? It's only 4. I will try my best. I will try my best to try and fiddle this a bit. Let's see how we go. So we need 4 or less. Yes! Oh my goodness. Spider-Lord said bookmark. We should have done, shouldn't we? Right, let's bookmark it again. Place a bookmark. Yes. And this is page 60, I think, isn't it? Right, so we've passed that. You quickly gather your thoughts and remember that the vampire can only be killed by driving a stake through its heart. If you possess a carved ruin, we don't. If not, go to 121. You panic as you realise that you are not carrying the weapons that you needed to slay the vampire. The Snow Witch gradually gains control of your mind and forces you to bare your neck in readiness for her to drink your blood. You will be her servant forever in the world of the undead. Oh, we did so well. We got the end and didn't actually have any of the right equipment to bloody help us. I think that's the best run we've done, folks. I'm not even sure where we would have necessarily done anything different. We maybe could have went into the kitchen where those people were when we ran past. We did. It was a good run, folks. It was a bloody good run. It was a good run. Let's go back to the main screen here. Let me take this down off the full screen so I can get back to my chat and I can see what you folks have been saying here as well. Yeah, we didn't have the stuff we needed. Daisy, we turned into a zombie gimp. We turned into a vampire gimp, mate, to be fair. VJ saying we had a good run. We definitely had a good run. Thumbnails are saying garlic from the kitchen, probably. It would not surprise me. Yeah, Christian saying should have gone in the kitchen and fought the giant, perhaps. Quite possibly, mate. Quite possibly. We still didn't get to use our invisibility genie mind, to be fair. Saying like you didn't have any garlic. Zingbo saying I can't believe the tactic of always choosing the left path has betrayed us. We did well, mind. I thought when we hadn't doubled back on ourselves on the map at all, though, we did pretty well getting through that, though. Super Punkin Man says, damn it. And Al says, good go, proper laugh. Yeah, it was a good laugh, actually. To be honest, mate, I think that's probably the most... I know we failed, but I think that was pretty close to the best we've done. Was it City of Thieves where we managed to get to the place where we were meant to be and we didn't have the stuff we needed and we got the opportunity to go back again, I think, didn't we? Clyde saying, oh well, who needs sunlight anyway? RBD says we need another fighting fantasy as soon as possible. And Spiderlaw says, is that a phone app or something? It's software you can get from Steam, mate. So let me show you here. So what we've got, in fact, if I go to that one, it won't play the background music. So let me stop that first. So yeah, so on Steam, if you go to the Steam library, there is a software called Fighting Fantasy Classics, and the software itself is absolutely free, and then you can you can purchase the individual books. Let me go. Can you go to the store page here? You can go to the individual books. And pick them up. But generally what happens, so yeah, it's free to play, and then there's a bundle basically, and you can buy all of these in like a bundle, and you get 50% off them and stuff like that. I think it's only about, what's that, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12, it's only about £13 for the entire batch, I think. 13, maybe a little bit more, but yeah, thanks to kind of your very kind donations in the live streams and stuff. I just kind of I put that money back into kind of buying these books so that we've got some options for every time we do these live streams. So yeah, that's it's a nice way to do it. I'm pretty sure you can also get it on the App Store as well, so you can play them on your phone. They're quite kind of cool. It's a cool way to do it. It saves you carrying dice with you if you're traveling anywhere. And it saves you having to manually kind of sort of jotting down the results and stuff like that, and remembering how much gold you've got and how much health you've got. It's nice. And it also stops you cheating as well, technically. Let's have a little look here. Thumbnails are saying, I never survived the choose your own adventure. I've grown up thinking all paths kill you. Yeah, part of me wants to kind of follow a playthrough at some point and see how we do it. Spylord says, we did well. City of Thieves, we jumped off a building and died. Ed saying that was Forest of Doom. There you go then. I seem to remember we got to a bridge, didn't we, out the end of the forest. We got a bridge that we had to cross, and we didn't have the stuff we needed, and it was like, oh God, we did well. Christian says, I remember the one we got murdered by a crab. Yeah, I do as well. And Super Punkin Man says, I think that was the first time we saw the boss. Yeah, I think it was. James says, I mostly live like a vampire anyway, to be honest. Yeah, to be honest. To be honest, BlackJack Arena Adventurer saw more sunlight than I've done recently, that's for sure. Dave says, City of Thieves is tough. At the end, you need all sorts of things to defeat the bad guy, and it's not obvious. Yeah, that's right, yeah. Yeah, Colin, I think you can get an app, mate, which have the same ones as well. Tin Man. In fact, let me have a little look on their website, and I'll be able to tell you, because I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's Tin Man Games. Tin Man Games are the software company that do it. And it might tell you on here whether there's an app or something like that. Fighting Fantasy Classics. It's available on Steam, on the App Store, and on Google Play as well. So you can get it for Android, or you can get it on Apple Play as well. So let me just for completeness there, yeah. So Tin Man Games are the company that do it, and yeah, you can get them on App Store, on Steam, or on Google Play. And I'm assuming it'll be all the same books that basically that'll be on there as well. Let's have a look. Rhymster's saying we did okay. We got to the Snow Witch. We just needed the rune stick. We'll find that next time. Yeah, or maybe the garlic would have helped. It felt like it was asking us about if we had rings and stuff like that. We obviously didn't see them anywhere, but we seemed to kind of like mainline straight through it. We were on the speed run version. We tried to do it quick. Ben saying that was a lot of fun while painting Lord of the Rings miniatures. I'm glad, mate. Ian says, stops you cheating. Says someone was paying attention, or it is very generous. Someone was paying attention, or it's very generous. When I say stops you cheating, I mean like if you were losing stamina, like you've actually got to mark it down, kind of thing. That's what I meant. But when you click to roll the dice, you can kind of click it, and before they stop, you can kind of like nudge the table, if you like, and like get them to re-roll a bit. And sometimes I did do that just to try and kind of help the story along a little bit. Ben says, at least we found some balls of steel. Yeah, exactly. RPD says, when will the next Fighting Fantasy live stream? I'm not sure, mate. Like I said earlier on, they don't draw big numbers. They almost kind of harm the channel a little bit, if I'm perfectly honest. Because like if this live stream doesn't do very well, then next week it doesn't share it out to folks and things like that. But I do enjoy doing them, and it's I know there's like a lot of members of the community that enjoy them as well. So I kind of like I throw them in once in a blue moon kind of thing. But yeah, I'll maybe try and do one every couple of months over next year, maybe, and we'll work through the different books and stuff. Because then when we get to the end of like once we've done all of the books and stuff, when we can always go back through them again, because we'll not remember half of the story. Spylord says Warlock Mountain was one of them, I think. Yeah. Dan says, never realised it was on Steam. Might have just bought in all the Steam Christmas sales. Yes, mate. Ian says, need 40k Fighting Fantasy to get big number. Yeah, do you know what a difference it would make if there was? And yeah, Ed says it wouldn't be as much fun if it was too regular. I kind of think that as well, mate. I think it would get a little bit stale if we did it like on too regular a basis. But once a quarter or something like that, once every few months, I think that's pretty cool. RPDC, I think it's the first one I've seen or joined. I've done it about 4 times, I would say, in total. We've done City of Thieves. We've done Island of the Lizard King. We've done Death Trap Dungeon. And we might have done Wall Up a Firetop Mountain. I think we've done those 4. Gary says this was fun. A modern one would be fun, like a plane crash in the Arctic. To be honest, I think there's the odds. There is a pirate one, I think, which is like one of the newer ones. A lot of the old ones are real real old school fantasy stuff. And over a period of time, they do keep releasing new ones. But yeah, I don't think there's any more there's no real like modern stories. I'm not aware of any other kind of software and stuff, because the software makes it easy to do, because you get to see the words on screen, you get to see the dice rolls, you get to see the map and all of that kind of stuff. It's just really, really good visually kind of thing to be able to do it together. Because if I was sitting reading from a book, I'm not quite sure it would. I mean, I'm not saying that this is interesting for people to watch, but I think if I was just sitting reading a book to you, it might be even less interesting. Rhymester says, yeah, I enjoy these live reading, not enough around. Yeah, they're quite fun. I mean, I think they do kind of, they're fun live. I don't know how much fun they'd be for anybody watching it back later. If you are watching this later and you enjoyed it, please let me know. Drop something down in the comments. Be interesting to see if anybody watches these back after the event. Spiderlord saying, yeah, just download it on phone. Just download it on phone. Get one for free, and the rest are between £2 and £3. Pretty cool. Yeah, they're not too bad, mate. Like I say, I don't know if they go on sale very often. They obviously do with the Steam one. But yeah, the free one I think is the pirate one. I think it's all right actually. Zingbo says there were a couple of sci-fi ones back in the 80s, including one called Robot Commando that I had back then. I did notice there was a like a car one, like a futuristic kind of car racing thing, where it was a bit like a Mad Max type thing. I forget, I can't remember the name of the one that it was, but yeah, we might do one of those ones. But I think tonight, fittingly for the Christmas period, the Snow Queen was a good one to do. So, folks, I also wanted to kind of add as well. Let me just let me mute the sound in case anything comes up on that as well off the laptop while we're chatting. There's been some news in the community this last week as well. So, in terms of a bit of an announcement from Ronnie doing his Christmas message, shall we say? I'm just getting up their streams here as well, because there was a couple of things that's come up. So one of the things that come up in Ronnie's message was that he had a bit of a chat about what's been happening this year, and then, so obviously what we spoke about last week as well was we've got these ambush boxes coming for Kings of War. We've got some stuff coming for Armada as well. Sorry. So yes, so this is what he was saying. Sorry, January. So terrain crate stuff coming as well. February sees the a Dead Zone 2 player, a new Dead Zone 2 player starter set featuring the Asterians and Plague, alongside a full Mason Labs army for firefight. I'm quite surprised to hear this, because this was something that I saw and I thought, well, it's not that long ago they were saying they weren't going to add any more armies to firefight for a while because they're concentrating on recruiting new players. So that makes me think it's not necessarily going to be new models, especially given it's February. That's quite a quick turnaround. It makes me think we might be just getting rules for Maison Labs, and we have to kind of use the limited amount of models that are available, or pulling stuff from the other factions, which is going to be interesting. So we'll see what comes of that one. And then yeah, we've got a Trident Realms fleet coming as well for Armada, and this was one of the ones that was kind of shared yesterday, and then randomly they then kind of reshared again today as well. And we saw here that we got, as well as the new ambush sets, 2 of the Mantic IP armies will be getting new hard plastic kits this year, and new models and army sets in the summer. So that'll be interesting to see what armies they'll be. Twilight Kin, obviously they've removed these from Kings of War at the moment while they work on them as a new army, like new sculpts and new models. And this is kind of like their concept art for the Twilight Kin. I really like it as concept art. I think as a model, they're going to be quite thin, I would imagine. They're going to be quite kind of like, obviously they're elves, they're going to be quite spindly. There's quite a lot of detail on that as well if that was a physical model. But we'll see. I like the aesthetic. It'll be interesting to see where they go from there. But I do worry about them being a bit spindly. And these were the Armada stuff, the painted stuff that we've seen as well. So we've got like an anglerfish there as well, and this kind of squid looking octopus type weird thing as well. So there's some new stuff coming for Armada as well next year. And then we've got Dungeon Saga Origins as well, which was the one that's kind of been scaled down to be able to play with kind of youngsters and stuff. This is now it's saying watch this space early 2023. No idea if this is just going to be a straight to retail or if it's going to be a Kickstarter thing. I don't know anything at all about it at this stage, but it will have character progression, multiple settings, solo, co-op, and player versus player options. So I'm looking forward to seeing what comes for that. Now, I'll be honest, I do like these reveals from Mantic. It's nice to see them talking about some new stuff. My only worry is, and this sounds like a proper negative Nancy kind of thing now, is that Mantic don't release stuff on the rate that GW do. So, like, they've almost kind of told us what's coming for, like, a big chunk of next year, if you like. Does it make the like those releases now almost be a little bit of an anticlimax because they've already been spoiled? Like, it's not even the end of the year, and we know the vast majority of what's coming down the path from Mantic, certainly in the first 6 months of the year for next year. Like, I just wonder whether it could be a bit more drip feed with those kind of things, rather than just a one-line kind of throwaway, and there's Maison Labs coming. Like, they could have announced Maison Labs as one piece of information, one piece of, like, sort of marketing hype, if you like, and they could have built on that for a little bit, as opposed to kind of drip feed and everything like that. So, VG saying it feels like they're ramping up their release schedule. I'm not sure if they're ramping it up, mate, or if they're just telling us everything that's coming all at once. That's the worry. Freeway Fighter, that was the one, mate. Thank you very much. Yeah, Mad Max style book. It's really hard. Yeah, I've not used that one, mate. Colin says most of the models will be Plague and GCPS. Yeah, that's kind of my worry, mate, is that basically all they're going to do is just throw in some rules, really, and it's not going to be... It's not like... It's not a new faction. It's just new rules with existing models kind of thing. So it'll end up, you'll get this wave of excitement, and then when everybody finds out what it is, they'll be like, oh, like, I do worry that that's what's going to happen. It'll be interesting. Mark Zelensky, hello mate, how are you doing? He says, will the Maison Labs army go straight into the new companion app? Well, this is the thing, mate. I think it's going to have to, and it wouldn't surprise me if that's part of the sales pitch, if you like, because it's not going to go into the book, because the book's printed, all of the armies are already in there. So it wouldn't surprise me if it just goes into the companion app, and that you need to... Will you need to subscribe? Will you be able to get it free? I'm not sure, but if it's another way to get people downloading the companion app, then it's probably from a marketing perspective, from a business perspective, it's not a bad idea. Clyde shouting dwarves. Colin says money on them being Twilight Kin. The other, I reckon, will be Northern Alliance. I think Twilight Kin is a bit further off. I don't think Northern Alliance needs new plastics. I think there's quite... I mean, there are... Like, there's no metals, really. There's the PVCs. The Snow Trolls are PVCs. I'm trying to think now, basically. I'm trying to think which ones are the ones that... It wouldn't surprise me if... Are the Abyssal Dwarfs? Have they had a new plastic kit? Or are they still like a hybrid kit? With the old... I forget now. VGSim would only pick up the new Dead Zone starter if the terrain is good. Plague, cool, but no interest in having any Asterians. I think it's just going to be the same terrain that we've already got, mate. I think the pull, if you like, will be the fact that it's just got 2 new factions in it. You'll probably get a couple of resident models that we've not seen before. Maybe like a new resin leader or something like that. Marxian Dungeon Saga Origin sounds fun. It definitely does, mate. VGCN definitely keen on the monsters in Armada. Yeah, it does. It does give a little bit of like a breath of fresh air, if you like, to Armada, and it certainly brings in, it dials up the fantasy element as well a lot more, I would say, as well, especially with the is it the... Oh, I forget where it is now. Anyway, but yeah, it's dialing up the fantasy element a bit now. And those monsters in Armada are the ships, I believe. Like, I don't think they're not like monsters to fight against. Like, they're not scenario things. I think they're actually sort of part of the fleet. Vijay says now they're both producing in-house and using Archeon for hard plastics. The thing is, mate, that's what they've been doing for a while, though, because they only moved to Archeon for plastics because the China factory couldn't meet the release date, I think it was, for the Orcs. So that was why they looked elsewhere for supply. And now, obviously, the quality increase that they've seen, that they'd be mad to go back to China now. So I don't think they've suddenly kind of like developed new like sort of output, if you like. So I don't think they're like that. I don't believe they're ramping up output. I think they're just like, you know, that they kind of. I think we'll see like a similar sort of release output as what we saw this year as well. Moxie and Abyssal Dwarfs got up new plastics a bit ago. Okay, mate. Last time I saw them, they were definitely still those hybrid kits. I'm trying to think now. Then let's have a little look on their website and see where we think they're gonna be. Then, I mean, I would imagine. I mean, elves have been like they've had plastic kits, but they're a bit long in the tooth now. Let's have a look, Mantic. Trying to work out now if what the armies would be. Let's have a little look. So, faction-wise, new plastics. Undead, there's a lot of plastics in the undead. I can't say. Trident Realms, Salamanders, potentially. There's not a lot of those, is there? Forces of Nature. Basileans. Will we maybe see some new Basileans coming? Like Orcs, Riftforged Orcs, Halflings are new, Abyssal Dwarfs are fine. Basileans, Dwarfs and Elves are getting a bit old now. Empire Dust's new. Forces of Nature, we might see something new. Forces of the Abyss. There's quite a lot of plastics for that range, to be fair. Goblins weren't that long ago. Night Stalkers is a relatively new one. Northern Alliance is relatively new. Ogres is new. Orcs, we've just seen. Ratkin not far off. Yeah, so I think we're probably looking at like Forces of Nature, Salamanders maybe, Trident Realms maybe, like fleshing those ones out. It wouldn't surprise me if it's kind of more along those lines a little bit. But we'll see. We will see. Yeah, Mark's saying elves and dwarfs need a bad. Yeah, I'd agree with that, mate, as well. Ian says pretty close to getting into Kings of Wars. I think there are a couple of groups locally, and it's growing. A good game, but always need people to play, no matter how good it is. Yeah, you do, mate. You do need people to play, especially when, like, with skirmish games. You know, like if you got one other person playing, you can kind of, you know, get like 10 models each, and you know, play now and again, kind of thing. That's fine. But I think when you're investing in an army scale game, you do need a few people to be playing with. RPD says we need a vampire count army. There is an undead army, to be fair, and they've got like a lot of plastics. Some of the plastic undead were like that kind of the PVC plastic stuff, and I hate working with that stuff, to be fair. Mini Warmut says, yeah, I think the Mantic Elves need a little more beef and muscle, just my opinion. The legs are like toothpicks. It's a little bit of my worry about the Twilight Kin, if I'm honest, mate. Like, from that artwork, the artwork looks fantastic, but it doesn't necessarily translate to a good miniature. Do you know what I mean? That's my worry. If you end up having really kind of like spindly legs and spindly arms, it might not like kind of translate that way. But we'll see. VGS saying, I think we're going to get more instructions. Seems like they're ready to bite the bullet on that one. Do you know what, mate? They're putting the instructions in with the ambush kits because they're aimed at new players. But I'm not sure we're going to see instructions across the board, mate. I'd like to. I definitely would like to, but I'm not sure we're going to. Mark says, Ronnie mentioned Night Stalkers as the next ambush box. I think we're getting new plastic butchers. There is that now, and that's the point when I would say that the what they called as well again, the north, the kind of the winter people. I forget what they're called now. You know the one. Somebody just mentioned them tonight. Kingdom, is it the Kingdoms? And my mind's gone absolutely blank now. Let me Northern Alliance. That's what I was trying to remember of. Yeah, thank you, Mark. The Northern Alliance, the Snow Trolls are that kind of hard PVC as well, and there's a few of those models. that could actually do with being plastic as well. So yeah, it's quite possible that's what they're doing, rather than kind of full new armies, if you like we've seen. Is it more likely to be kind of like sort of upgrades of existing units? Clyde says, I repeat my previous comment, dwarves. VG says, found out my new local game shop runs bolt action on Saturdays now to work on twisting some of the regulars to conflict 47. Yeah, nice one, mate. Just go in there. Oh, so you all play bolt action. How about playing something else? That'll be nice. That's the way to do it, mate. Get them in. So, I tell you what, I don't think I normally talk this much now after reading all that stuff. I normally get a bit of breathing space while I'm reading your comments and stuff, but it's been a talky one tonight. How we doing? We've definitely got a quieter chat in tonight anyway. Has everybody gone home? Because I'm not seeing any comments coming up on the chat, but it might be my chat might have frozen. So let's have a little, see what I'll do. I'll close that chat down. I'll open it up again, a new one, and see what happens. Pop out the chat. No, I think it's just quiet. There we go. Mark says, yeah, it stopped suddenly. I think it just stopped because everybody just stopped chatting. I think that's what it was. Spylo says, still here putting stuff together. Yeah, it makes it hard when the chat freezes like that, when everybody just decides like, no, I'm fine. I'm watching, but I'm not chatting. It's in same team. What was that about? I forget what that was now. Same team. Oh, I must have missed it. Yeah, we're still here. Everybody's still there. They're just all sitting watching rather than sitting chatting. That's the thing. Yeah, it starts to kind of like quieten down the. It starts to quieten down the stream a little bit, and we run out of steam a bit. So I think what I'll probably do is we'll probably start to wrap it up there. I think I'll give you back the gift of the rest of your Boxing Day now, because I think we're drying up a bit now with a quieter chat. So folks, thank you so much. This is actually before we wrap up, I might as well kind of like a little bit of this as well. Is that this is our last stream of 2022. It's been an absolutely great year in terms of like sort of community involvement, seeing everybody doing all of the painting streams, everybody doing the the monthly challenges. We'll be showing off the monthly challenges for December next week, and that's the last one for the year. It's awesome to see everybody kind of taking part. I want to thank all of the Patreons. That's without your help, this wouldn't happen. I wouldn't be able to kind of keep doing what I do. So thank you very much to the Patreons who continue to support me and have done pretty much since day one. Thank you to the folks that do the super chats and the donations on the live streams. They're really appreciated as well. Thank you to anybody that kind of uses my affiliate links or buys t-shirts, any of that kind of stuff. It's all those little things that kind of mount up over the time and mean that I can keep doing this and sort of devoting time to it rather than having to go and get a proper job, as folks would tell me. Thumbnails are saying monthly challenges. We have a painting challenge every month, Thumbnails, where basically there is a subject, there's a topic, and everybody in the community gets an opportunity to paint a model under that, like the kind of as a like with that topic, that challenge, if you like, is a bit of a motivator. And they email to me the pictures, and then I show them off once a month when they all come in. So yeah, that's what the monthly challenges are. So yeah, hopefully 2023 is going to be even better than 2022. We're starting to ramp some things up. I'm going to make a few changes just to kind of freshen things up and liven things up and improve the quality of the content that's coming out. Change a few things that I don't think's necessarily working. Change some things just for my own motivation. So yeah, you should start to see some new things coming in 2023. I want to thank everybody that's just reached out, sent messages, emails, anything, kind of just to kind of support me and keep me going, watching the channel, listening to the kind of the streams and stuff like that in the background while you're painting. It's all really like it's really appreciated, and I want to say a massive thank you. Enjoy your New Year's Eve and have a drink for me. Have a wonderful Christmas sort of holiday season and Christmas, Twixmas I think they call it, don't you? Between Christmas and New Year. Enjoy that break, and I will see you all in the new year, next year, on the 2nd of January, I think it is. So take care, folks. Enjoy the rest of your holidays, and Happy New Year.